Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back with another subscriber requested video for you. So I was it's not been recent. I was asked a long time ago to do a video about woody fragrances. Yeah, so shame on me. It's taken me a really long time to finally do this one, but here we are. I am finally gonna get it done. I probably don't have all of the woody fragrances in my collection for you. In fact, I pretty much only have fall and winter fragrances out right now. I don't have any of my spring summer stuff out. And I'm also not in a great situation where I've got like my whole collection out, where I used to be able to see everything. I knew where everything was. Sadly, I'm just not in a good situation like that right now. So I have to really think about, I can't look through my collection to see. I have to, I don't know. It's just been really hard. So anyways, I'm gonna stop complaining and I'm gonna jump right in. So the first one we're gonna talk about is this one here. This is a fragrance that was sent over to me, and it is an absolute gem in my collection. This is a fragrance from Kilian called Sacred Wood. So this is a sandalwood fragrance, and this is the most exquisite sandalwood fragrance I have ever smelled. It is absolutely stunning. It's like a lactonic sandalwood. It's got I believe it's got a milk note in it. I do get like a very slight creaminess to it, but it almost translates as powdery because it smells like a dry sandalwood. So when you pair that kind of dry sandalwood with the milk note, it ends up translating a little bit powdery, which I absolutely love. It ends up, I don't know, and somehow it just enhances the quality of the sandalwood. I mean, it is an incredible sandalwood. Like, one of the best sandalwood notes I've ever smelled. Untamed, one of her fragrances, I think it's one of the new ones, Blackbird maybe, I think it's Blackbird, has a sandalwood note in it. It's the same quality of sandalwood that is in Sacred Wood. You can just smell it. There's just something about the quality of it. And yeah, this is, like I said, it's an exquisite sandalwood fragrance. This fragrance has ruined all other sandalwood fragrances for me because this smells so amazing that I almost can't tolerate like a synthetic sandalwood note anymore. It smells, synthetic sandalwood now to me smells incredibly inexpensive, and I don't like it. So this fragrance has actually ruined a lot of other sandalwood fragrances for me, sadly. But this is an absolute stunner of a perfume, and I would say it is the best. It's so good. So anyways, that is Sacred Wood from Kilian. Okay, another sandalwood, and you'll see, yeah, the first few that we're gonna talk about are sandalwood. And you'll also see I don't have a ton of woody fragrances in my collection. I do have some ouds, but I don't think that I've got them all out right now. So anyways, okay, next we're gonna talk about this one here. This is Guerlain Samsara. This is, oh my gosh, this is a beautiful fragrance too. This is another really beautiful sandalwood, but this has a lot of other things going on in it. It's got a lot of other notes. It's warm, it's floral, it's got some spices in it. It's not just sandalwood, so, and the sandalwood that is in it is again, it's a really nice quality sandalwood. It doesn't smell like that synthetic sandalwood that I really don't like anymore. Bless you. But yeah, this is beautiful. Samsara it's just really warm. Bless you. Slightly resinous, woody. It's amazing. I had a winter, it must have been, I don't know, it must have been 2 or 3 winters ago where I just could not get enough of this fragrance. That's why I have a huge dent in this perfume. I don't know if you can see it from here, but I have a huge dent in this perfume. It's about down to here. because I just could not stop wearing it. I guess it's been about 3 winters ago. But yeah, I absolutely love it. Samsara is a beautiful classic. I've heard that even the reformulated version of this in the bee bottle is amazing. So yeah, it's a stunner of a woody fragrance. So anyways, that is Guerlain Samsara. And another sandalwood fragrance. This is Elizabeth and James Nirvana Black. These are only 3 notes. They're really, really pretty simple kinds of fragrances. I can't remember what the other 2 notes are besides sandalwood, but this is beautiful. It's a beautiful, slightly sweet. I'm sure it's got a flower in here, some kind of a flower, like a floral sandalwood. It's warm, it's kind of dark smelling. It's really, really beautiful. But at the end of the day, it is just this kind of slightly sweet sandalwood fragrance, and it's gorgeous. I love the Elizabeth and James perfumes. They're simple, but they're really well done. They're just really, really pretty, and they're really, really affordable. And I get really great performance out of them. I will tell you, Kilian Sacred Wood, beast. I mean, I can spray that on once and I'm good for the rest of the day. Samsara, Guerlain Samsara, again, I can spray it on in the morning. I'm good for the entire day. They're fragrances that perform really, really well. I only have the oil in the Elizabeth and James Nirvana Black. And the oil is okay. I can get, I don't know, a few hours out of the oil. I feel like if I layered the spray version over the oil, golly, it would be a beast. I would probably get through an entire day. But for the most part, Elizabeth and James perfumes perform pretty well for me. I can get, I don't know, a good 6 hours out of them. So anyways, that is Elizabeth and James Nirvana Black. Really beautiful, another sandalwood fragrance. Okay, next we've got another Elizabeth and James perfume. This is one of my favorite woody fragrances in my collection. Hands down, I absolutely love this. This is Elizabeth and James Nirvana Bourbon, and this is basically vanilla and woods, but it's a dry wood, and it's not sweet at all. It's like a dry wood and an unsweet vanilla. So you get this really beautiful, just kind of unsweet, dry vanilla wood fragrance. I love this perfume. This one, I went through an entire rollerball of this fragrance. Oh gosh, it's probably been 6 or so years ago now, but it's all I wanted to wear one winter. I just, like, I forsook my whole, is that a word? Forsook? I forsaked my entire perfume collection that winter because I was obsessed with Nirvana Bourbon and By the Fireplace. Those were my 2 winter fragrances that I could not get enough of. So anyways, that is Nirvana Bourbon from Elizabeth and James, a beautiful, simple, but elegant woody fragrance. Speaking of By the Fireplace, that is what we're gonna talk about next. This is Replica By the Fireplace, and this is beautiful. This is sweet vanilla woods and chestnuts. It's like a sweet, nutty vanilla and woods fragrance. It's super, super warm. I absolutely love this. This is another one between, I had a roller ball of Nirvana and of Bourbon Vanilla, and I had a pen spray of By the Fireplace, and between the two, I think I went through both of them within 2 or 3 months, just kind of alternating back and forth because it was all I wanted to wear. But yeah, I do love By the Fireplace. I'm not going to talk a ton about it because it's such a well-known fragrance and I've talked about it a ton on my channel, but I do love it. It's got this beautiful kind of roasty chestnut note in it. It's maybe just the slightest bit smoky smelling, but at the end of the day, it is vanilla and woods, and it's really, really beautiful. And I don't want to talk a ton about it because I've got three other fragrances in my collection that are very similar. All the rest of the fragrances we're going to talk about kind of smell like By the Fireplace. They're different versions. So the first one we're going to talk about is this one here. This is Clinique My Happy Cookies and Kisses, and this is really beautiful. This is like a really sweet version of By the Fireplace. This is It's much lighter, it's much sweeter. So if you took away that touch of smokiness that you get with By the Fireplace, and you amped up the sweetness, amped up the vanilla, and amped up the woods, really, you get Cookies and Kisses. It does remind me of By the Fireplace, but it doesn't have, I don't know, it doesn't have the nuances that By the Fireplace has. And it's way more simple. And it's way less expensive. And I feel like it's a little bit more wearable. By the Fireplace is an absolute beast. I can get easily 8-10 hours out of it. I only ever have to apply it once. This Clinique My Happy, this actually performs pretty darn well too. I've never had one of these fragrances perform very well for me. So this one, I think I got a good 4 hours out of it or something before I would have needed to reapply, which I think is pretty good for I think these perfumes are $26 for a half ounce. So yeah, I feel like 4 hours is perfectly acceptable. I feel like if you wore this, regularly, you would probably have to reapply it at least once throughout the day, and you'd probably run through this little half ounce bottle in a couple of months, I would guess, if you wore it exclusively. But yeah, I like it. It's a nice little alternative to By the Fireplace. It's an easier reach than By the Fireplace. So yeah, I'm looking forward to really getting into this one as soon as it starts to get really cold out. I feel like it's just going to be one of those easy to reach for fragrances for me. So anyways, that is Clinique My Happy Cookies and Kisses. Definitely a beautiful, sweet, yummy, woody fragrance. And then next we have this one here. This is Amir Al Oud Intense from Lattafa. This one had been recommended to me like so much from so many people. And I finally bit the bullet and got it last year. This is a beautiful, sweet, sugary vanilla and oud fragrance, and I love it. That is one thing. I didn't include any of my rose and oud fragrances in this video. I probably should have included Shag Half Oud because yes, it's rose and oud, but I think it's heavier on the oud than it is the rose. I think that it would probably qualify as a woody fragrance, but I don't know. I was like, ooh, are those woody or are those more rose fragrances? I just left them out because I felt like they were probably more rose fragrance. I don't know, that I would probably consider them more of rose fragrances than woody. But they are woody rose fragrances, so we'll just put those in here as honorable mentions. Like Oud Bouquet from Lancome and Shag Half Oud from Swiss Arabian are like amazing woody rose fragrances. But anyways, yeah, Amir Al Oud is gorgeous. This is like By the Fireplace, but it's sweeter, it's more sugary, it's got more vanilla in it. It doesn't have the chestnut in it, and it's got oud. So this is, at the end of the day, it's an oud fragrance. It's beautiful. It reminds me a little bit of Ragba from Lattafa, but that one is lighter, less, it's even sweeter, more sugary, it's got less oud. But yeah, and that's more of a vanilla fragrance for me. But yeah, this is a beautiful sugary vanilla and oud fragrance, and it is very similar to By the Fireplace, but again, lacks some of the complexity that By the Fireplace has. This is an absolute beast of a fragrance. You can spray this on once. You're gonna be good for the entire rest of the day. This is an absolutely huge bottle that you can pick up off of Triple Traders for it's in the $24 range. It's such an amazing price, and it's an amazing fragrance. So anyways, that is Amir Al Oud Intense from Lattafa. And last but not least, we've got this one here from Gallagher Fragrances. This is called Vanilla Silk. This is basically vanilla, white amber musk, and woody notes. This is another one that gets compared to By the Fireplace, but again, this is lighter, it's fluffy smelling from the vanilla. This one really is fluffy smelling. And also from, I think, the white musk, but this one's much lighter. It's much lighter, it's got more vanilla in it. It doesn't have the nuttiness. It's smoother. Again, it's more wearable. This one's even more wearable than the Clinique one. It's really light and beautiful and sweet, but it's not overly sweet. It's not even as sweet, I think, as any of the others. It's smoother. I love it. I would say of all of them, this is probably my favorite just because this is so refined smelling. It's just so smooth and wearable, and the vanilla is, I don't know, it's such a creamy vanilla. It's such a fluffy smelling fragrance from the creamy vanilla and the white amber, and it's just beautiful. This is the most refined smelling of all of them. I like that it doesn't have the nuttiness. The woods in the base are very, very smooth. There's no sharpness, where you get a little bit of sharpness with the other ones. Amir Al Oud, the oud is a little bit sharp smelling. By the Fireplace, again, the woods are a little bit sharp smelling. This one does not have any sharp edges to it at all. This is smooth, fluffy, and wearable and beautiful. Again, this is probably my favorite version of it. This, however, does not perform as well. So I can get maybe 4 to 6 hours out of Vanilla Silk. I usually try to overspray with this one, and yeah, I can get, I would say, between 4 and 6 hours out of it. It's not horrible. I definitely don't think that 4 to 6 hours is horrible. It's just not a super beast like By the Fireplace or Amir Al Oud is. But it is definitely my favorite. In fact, this might, I don't know, besides Kilian Sacred Wood, I would say this is probably my most favorite woody fragrance in my collection, just because it's so easy to wear and because it's such a beautiful vanilla fragrance as well. So anyways, that is Gallagher Vanilla Silk. And that is going to be it, guys. Those are all of the woody fragrances that I have out in my collection at the moment. I will try to make another version of this video for warm weather, like maybe in the spring when I get all of my spring and warm weather perfumes out again, since I wasn't able to include them in this one. I do hope that you all enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.